Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Comrade Ajagun Okwemisam from Coalition of Civil Society Organization, and we are here to give our speech or our report. Coalition of Civil Society Organization preliminary report on allegation against the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO. He says, the needless premature calling of dog a bad name just to hang it, and it must stop. The Coalition of Civil Society Organization of Nigeria has observed with keen interest the needless sensitization, unjustified vilification, and mass cyberbullying of the performing Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO, in recent times as over an allegation of corruption which is currently being investigated by the relevant agency of government. From our observation and surface preliminary investigation, as a coalition saddled with the responsibility of being the conscience of the public, we discover with concern a desperate desire and manipulative orchestration by vested interests to hang the dog. Hence, it has been branded a bad name. Simply put, Dr. TUNJI-OJO has become a victim of bruised ego, which has been cut off from feeding fat in a corrupt system as a result of the giant reform he has brought to bear in the Ministry of Interior since assumption of office. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, as a civil society organization, we are not oblivious of the fact that while many of us pray for status quo to change in the overall interest of our country, others are working day and night to ensure that the mystery of Nigeria do not go away. The contactless passport applications and even home delivery being championed by the minister has come with a heavy price against its image, a result of which we are witnessing today. From our findings, a company which the minister allegedly had a stake in was accused of receiving a total sum of 4.3 million naira that was designated as consultancy fee from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty allegation. However, what the peddlers of this rumor have deliberately failed to tell the public is that the minister has since 5 years ago resigned his directorship of the said company. From the investigation made at the Corporate Affairs Commission, Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO ceased to be director of the said company as required by the law before contesting for House of Representatives in the year 2019. Now, assuming the said company had bidded and won a tender to offer consultancy service to a government ministry, is there any law in our country stopping firms from pursuing their legitimate means of generating income because a man who worked there in the past later become a minister, even a ministry not directly or indirectly under his supervision? Or is pursuing their rightful and legitimate economic means now a crime? Or should a man who resigned according to the requirement of the law be accused of any complicity 5 years ago? Again, a man in question has denied being a signatory in transaction involving the company in question, having tendered his resignation in about half a decade ago. You may now ask, what is the unjustified attack for? Why is there a burning desperation to soil the image of an accusation that has no basis in the law or in any logic? Dr. TUNJI-OJO, at the risk of sounding immodest, is a star boy of this administration by the virtue of the record he has set so far among every member of this present cabinet. He has demonstrated an iron-cast capacity that he came prepared for the job and ready to leave a lasting footprint. We are not surprised at the pull him down syndrome playing out at the moment. His resignation from the company in question before contesting for the House of Representatives is a total compliance to the federal civil rule of the Federation. We must commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for not bowing to the emotion being vaunted out of media space with the intentions to stampede him into taking ST action and get the very performing Minister of Interior off track. As a leader with a discerning sense of judgment, he has held a closed-door session with the minister, which we believe is in a connection with this allegation. Instead of the mob seeking to feed on the flesh of the minister to wait patiently, they are busy calling for his suspension, a demand that has no basis in the law, but just a strategy to bring down the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by labeling his minister as corrupt. We must also put it on record that it is neither the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta, nor the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO, that is the prime suspect. Our source, which we do not wish to disclose it here, inform us that insatiable power mongers are stalking behind the baseless confusion or to discredit the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just for their selfish political interests. They are people who have been serially rejected by Nigerians yesterday, today, and in the future. The call for the suspension of the Minister of Interior smack of unpatriotic and insensitive for Nigerians to have the nightmare attempting to access the basic service to their fatherland, including the international passport. We are all witnesses to the far-reaching innovation the minister has brought to bear in the ministry since assumption of the office. For the first time in recent history of our country, we saw a minister who mobilized his friend and associate to raise funds amounting to hundreds of millions of naira to offset the fines of prison inmates, giving them the freedom and also to decongest the prisoners. Under his leadership, the ministry has cleared a heavy backlog of passports and implemented a new platform that will allow Nigerians to renew their passport from their convenience of their home. In coming weeks, Nigeria will start receiving their passports at their doorstep. Who would have believed that this will be possible in this country? It is therefore our appeal that the president does not succumb to this orchestrated plot to blackmail his government and project it as a corrupt one. He has demonstrated readiness to allow the rule of law take its due course, and we have no doubt that Honorable Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO will be exonerated as he continues in his excellent service delivery for our people. The civil society coalition wishes to send note of warning to desperate politicians to allow governance take center stage in the interests of our nation and to stop forthwith the ongoing desperate demonstration of sabotage against the nation. Our demand, number one, on behalf of over 70 civil society organizations of Nigeria in this coalition, we wish to exonerate the Honorable Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO, of all allegations leveled against him, and therefore request that Mr. President to disregard the call for his removal. Two, we call on security agencies to immediately probe the media attacks on the selected federal ministry, including the Federal Ministry of Interior, with a view to bringing the sponsors to book. Number three, we call on those behind the needless attack on a performing and innocent minister to desist from such punishable act or face the consequences. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Freedom of Act information. And based on the information we got from CAC, and like we rightly said, he has resigned from the said company 5 years ago. And that alone shows that he's innocent. And that alone proves that he doesn't know much about the company. So he's not involved. And, you know.
Before he resigned, he was a director, right?
Yes.
And it shows then he has a signatory. It's one of the signatories.
Yes, he has also tendered his...
And of course he has a share. Because if you're a director, you have a share.
But he has resigned.
He gave us the document. We have the document,
yes.
which he showed. I showed it on our program and of course on...
Even the wife too also resigned. He said it.
But it's still saying he has a stake. That is the link now. And
from where?
No, it's a link that they've been going around.
That's why we're...
They still believe that I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to give me what I need as a producer and a
Gentlemen of the press, my name is Chidimai Hanajo. I'm a member of the Coalition of Civil Society. Well, from the question you asked, I want to make Nigeria to have this at the clear of their mind that he is not a signature to that account. Once you resign, even though you have a share there, but you are not a signature to that, there is a due process to follow every company and every organization. One, he resigned 5 years ago. Also, the wife resigned 5 years ago. Being a Yoruba or not is not what we are looking up to. What we are after is, are you the signature to that account? What is your access to that account? We are talking about cash. We are talking about money. And money now,
To have a share is money too.
why? Yes. To have a share is also money. But we are talking about to have the real access to that account. He may be there. Likewise, me and every other Nigerians can be there in any company. But what matters is that's the main house of money, the engine room of money. Are you signature? Even though are you signature to that? Are you still in that picture of that company? Quite all from the investigation we have carried out, he is not in that company. And also, there is no evidence to prove. They only know that maybe some people have been seeing both of them with Betty or whatever as a friends. So they want to link him up. But before I beg Nigerians, before you link somebody up in all sorts of blackmailing, please go in, dig deep to find out whether truly with this thing I'm carrying out, will it destroy the nation? Will it terminate? Will it destroy the image of this person? For some months now, let me just call it not up to a year now that he has been in office. We've seen his performance, and we have seen how he has been managing the Ministry of Interior without leakage. So how are we going to link him up with that? With my own side, I don't see him as somebody that is worthy to step aside.
Give emphasis on what you call rule of law. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated what they call capacity building in terms of believing the fact that he that comes with equity must come with clean hand. And we've seen that from the scenario that played out from the former Minister Ajia Sadia Umar, which was called to AFCC and she attended. And we've seen that capacity displayed as well in the scenario of the step-aside Minister of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta. To buttress your point, man, Dr. Betta has agreed to the fact that he paid the sum of 438 million naira, I mean 500 million naira, 538 million naira to the ministry account officer, who happens to be a Mujishola, a Yoruba person. We are not talking about tribe here. We are talking about somebody who has the capacity to turn around the ministry within a little time frame. We are talking about somebody who has the intellect, the intellectual capacity to mobilize his team, to set up an objective, a foresight that, okay, you can equally do this, you can make Nigeria work, irrespective of who is here. Dr. Tunji has come out publicly that he has never denied to be a director in the organization, but he has resigned, and it's everywhere. He has resigned from the office. That does not mean the office he held cannot still apply for their economic means to survive the organization. And you are saying he should step aside when there, he cannot step when there is no strong conviction. It's an allegation. It's an allegation. And the president, based on his experience in the field, he knows what to do. He will only give you his time to see if a proactive measure can be taken. And we all believe that with time, whatsoever that is on food will be open to everybody. But we want to use this privilege to appeal to Mr. President to give him kudos and credence that Nigerians are solidly behind what he's doing. You should just critically look into, because what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. And we believe at the end of the day, he that comes to equity will still be vindicated. Thank you. My name is Comrade Mojid Kolawole Homalaga, a bona fide member of the coalition.
Like we read earlier, or like we said earlier, you know, it's not the minister of humanitarian affairs. He has his own ministry, different from, and he's not even a staff of the said ministry. So to me, he's not involved. And like we said, the said company, he said he resigned 5 years ago. And whether by shareholder or by anything, so far you resigned, you did not belong to the company again. So to me and to us, based on our investigation and based on the committee that was set up, he's not involved. So he should be encouraged to carry out or to carry on his assignment in the Ministry of Interior. Yeah.
Resignation is necessary. Why it's called for his suspension or resignation. It's called for suspension is necessary. Why did I say so? The claims or the allegations they are directing towards him was he used to be a director in that company. And he has ceased to be a director for more than 5 years ago. That is number one. That is no more a director. Does it stop that company from functioning as a corporate entity? It does not. It does not at all. Secondly, the allegation leveled against Dr. Betta, it happened in another ministry, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, not in Ministry of Interior. So I see no reason why he should be asked to step aside or suspended. No. Then the appeal I will read out to Nigerians is they should for the fact that President Tinubu has taken this bold step to have uncovered some of these things that used to happen more like a daily routine before, and the president is touchlighting every aspect of the government, including his own kinsmen, as you rightly put, that it doesn't matter that you are a Yoruba or you are a Hausa or whoever you be, so long there's traces of fraudulent activities in your ministry, the president is touchlighting it, and he's not leaving any stone unturned. But for the asking Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO to resign is uncalled for, because the allegation in question did not happen under his purview. He was not signatory to the account they are alleging. The company they are alleging, he has resigned from that company long ago, and that he has resigned from that company does not stop the company from carrying out his corporate activities. So for me, I think Dr. TUNJI-OJO should be allowed to concentrate. He should not be distracted based on his track record in few months that he was appointed as ministers. And we have seen it, Nigeria enjoying it. And for Nigeria to continue to enjoy such kind of gesture, I will appeal that they should allow the rights agencies to do their jobs and leave Dr. Olubunmi TUNJI-OJO out of it. My name is Comrade Tunde Akomedu.
Thanks for checking out Symphony on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.